I got paid recently and I wanted to show you a month's reset in real time using my spending tracker. Last time we checked in, I calculated the opening balance for my January spreadsheet and typed in what I expected to cover in January. Normally I would update my tracker once a week, but I purposefully haven't been doing it all month so that I can do it step by step with you from start to finish. So let's jump in. First thing that I'm going to do is download my bank statement from the end of December until today, which is the 22nd. I include the end of December, which I've already removed from over here, just so that I can double check that I have captured every transaction. I've already sorted the transactions and now I'm going to paste them into the right side of my sheet. So I'm just going to select these out of the spreadsheet and pop into my January monthly paycheck reset. I'm going to paste them next to what I've already budgeted for January over here. What I'm going to do is remove the transactions that I know were just assumptions. I'm going to keep that 300 in investments for now. I'm going to remove everything else. Okay, so I'm just going to move this down one so that it's in line with the row that I'm going to be categorizing. I'm going to copy all of my dates in here and I'm going to format all of them so that they look like the top one. I'm going to grab all the amounts and pop them in here. And then I'm going to remove the amounts so that I can see the detail that came off the bank statement. Okay, so now it's really easy for me to quickly categorize everything because I've got the detail I need, and this should take me less than 5 minutes because I believe I've only got 26 transactions, so this should be super quick. Okay, so I know that I only selected up until this date specifically because the next transaction on my bank statement was me being paid. So I can see that I still have 143 euros left for the month, and what I can do now is put that money away into investments before I add my salary. So 143.12, I'm going to add another amount here. 143.12. Okay, so using up every euro that I have for my paycheck that needed to cover me from the end of December to my next payday, and allocating each euro means that I'm using zero-based budgeting and I'm giving every euro a job so that I don't spend it on something else, because I could have easily taken that 143 euros and gone shopping, but I didn't. I just popped it straight into something that will benefit me for the future. Since it is payday, I'm going to insert my salary amount up here. Okay, so this is what my income was, minus taxes and social security and all the things that I still need to pay. There is nothing more to do today, so I'll wait about a week and a half for all the transactions for January to clear through my bank account. Then we can wrap up the full month and reset for February. Hey everybody, it's the 3rd of Feb and I am just going to update the last few transactions for January into my spending tracker to see how I did for the month. So I've pasted them in over here and I'm just going to grab the data and categorize everything quickly. So let's evaluate the spending for January. Firstly, I can see that I've got 908 euros to get me through to my next payslip, which was less than last month. It's not alarming. I think everything's going to be fine. I have put away enough, I think, for investments this month. I'm really happy with that. Things that are standing out to me, my groceries are less than what I expected. but included in this is a subscription to my cleaning products that I use, and it's a subscription because I save a little bit by getting it on a recurring basis, which I'm actually going to pause for a little bit because I think now that that's arrived, I'm going to have too much when they do the next delivery. So I'm going to see if I can pause that for a little bit. If that had not gone off this month, I would have been very surprised at my grocery bill because it came down by like 150 euros, which is mad. I wasn't expecting it to be that low, and I'm really pleased that it is. That's quite normal. We don't normally put in petrol every month. We walk most of wherever we go or use public transport. We maybe put in petrol 3 or 4 times a year. As I tracked last year, I couldn't believe it was that little. We really do walk everywhere, and we don't go on many road trips, obviously. Toll fees, that also only really comes about when we use a car, so that's normally not a lot. The electricity was a bit higher than normal, and I expect it to actually be quite a bit higher in February because we've had such rainy weather that I've been using the heater to dry the clothes. Another thing that I know affected our spending this month was part of this amount that is in the home decor and house section is that I bought a new clothes horse to help with the amount of laundry that I'm trying to get dry. So that was part of this. I also went to the Zara home sale because I had been keeping an eye out for a duvet cover that I really wanted in a specific color. I just really loved it, and it was on the sale, and I decided to splurge and get that. So that's why that was a bit higher than normal. Our gym fees were also a little bit higher than normal. I didn't expect it, but it seems like they charged us 15 euros each for a yearly membership because I remember joining in January last year. So that must have been that. I'm not too worried about it. Eating out was a little bit higher than we normally would have it because we normally only eat out once a month, which is crazy to some people, but we went out with friends for lunch and we got takeout one evening. Yeah, nothing else really stands out. Also topped up some vitamins this month, and that would have pushed up the health. So overall, I'm happy with where our money went. I did edit these a little bit from when we last checked in earlier on in this video. I actually just set it back to what it normally is. I think it was a little bit different for December because of how different December spending is. So I can see that my 908 has already jumped over to my February sheet over here as a starting balance, and I know that that money needs to see me through to my next payslip. So what I've done is I've pasted in what I expect my necessities to be for the month, and I've only included up until the point I know I'm going to get paid. So I've included everything up until the day before I think I'm going to get paid, which is, I believe, going to be the 24th. And this adds up to 734 euros. And just to have a look at the detail, I want to put away at least another 300 euros this month. Groceries I split out. You'll see I've got it over here and then also uncategorized down here. I split out the 500 that I expect us to spend, 300 for the first portion of the month, which is a good 3 weeks until I get paid again, and then 200 for the remaining few weeks or days of the month. The subscriptions that I know are going to come off in here, bank charges, bank fees. I know one of our gym memberships is going to come off. Internet and phone comes off before payday, and so does the subscription. So I can see that I will still have, of the money that I brought over from last month's pay, I'll still have 173 euros to get me through to the next paycheck, and that's great. I can see that my expected necessities or bills that I know will come off after payday are going to be about 400 euros, and it's quite obvious that I won't cover it with the pay slip that's currently in my bank account. I will need to dip into the next pay slip to cover that, which is exactly what it's there for. And that is full month step by step of how I use my spending tracker. I hope you find it helpful to see exactly what I did. I might have already mentioned that I normally do this at least once a week, but for the purpose of showing you exactly how I did everything, I did it in 2 batches. One from the first of the month up until payday, and then from payday to the end of the month. If you enjoyed seeing this level of transparency and detail in my finances, then please feel free to subscribe and follow along for more. My hope is that I can show you how easy it is to track your money and how little time it really takes, and all the different methods and ways that you can manage the data and the reality of spending money every month on the things we need to spend money on, and the ways that it can fit into your budget. I really hope you enjoyed the video, and see you in the next one. Bye!